Welcome to the Toby Foreman Show on this Thursday night. Had a big ball game up for us tonight. Temple Wildcats in town to take on our Shoemaker Gray Wolves in the first game of district play. Coach, it's here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're moving along pretty quick with the season, and we haven't had a bye yet. We're not going to have a bye for quite some time. So every week we have a game, and so that's a good thing. And like I said, we've exhausted our scrimmage in our 4 non-district games. We currently sit at 3-1 overall, but all that stuff doesn't really matter because everyone is 0-0 going in this week. And our first opponent that we drew is the Temple Wildcats.
Boy, aren't you lucky?
Yeah, no, that's
they're playing some ball this year.
They're playing really good. Coach Stewart's done a good job, and their coaching staff's done a good job. And I tell people this will be the 5th time we played Temple. It's the only team in this area that I haven't beaten at least one time since I've been here. And so they've done a good job as a program through the years, and Coach Stewart's done a really good job of helping keep that tradition alive.
University last week, that was a good ball game. You made a few mistakes you probably shouldn't have, but you came out with the win, and that's what's important. But tell me about that one real quick.
No, University, they were undefeated team, and they had been playing some really good ball, and they played really good against us. There was several chances we had to put them away in that game, and we just couldn't do it. And so kudos to their coach and their kids. They had a couple guys that got hurt in that game, but I know they're going to be back. They're a really good program, and I'll look for them to go make a playoff run in 5A. And it says a lot that their kids, they stepped up to the challenge on a Thursday away game at Cyril Stadium, and they really competed well against us. And I do believe that both teams benefited from that game, and both of us got better.
And, of course, first thing Saturday morning, late Friday night, looking at Temple Wildcat huddle video.
Yeah, Temple, this is a different group now. They come in here, and they did a really good job in their non-district schedule. We both lost to the same opponent, which is Round Rock, beat us both. And then we both beat Nuevo Leon. And then they've also beaten San Antonio Reagan, which was a huge win for them. Really good team down in the San Antonio area. They went on the road and beat them. And then they also, last Friday, we were at the Austin High game. They got all over the Maroons and really beat them down pretty good. And they were able to rest some of their guys late in that game. So, right now Temple is rolling. And, they do a good job on the offensive side of the ball. Protecting the quarterback, young man by the name of Champ Mayo, one of the better names I've come across this year,
yeah.
Champ. And then, they have some really good receivers and running backs. Christian Tutson, number 1, a really good wideout. Number 12, Ramon Brown, a really good wideout. And then number 7, his name is Jack Flinke, I believe, really good receiver. But their workhorse is definitely going to be number 5, Orion Peoples. He's definitely a Temple back. He can run the ball. He can block. He can catch the ball in the backfield. Does an outstanding job. On the defensive side of the ball, if you flip over, they have their big-time D1 guy, Jamarion Carlton. He plays some outside linebacker, inside linebacker. He plays some defensive end. They move him around. And then also, I've been very impressed with Leslie Jackson, number 0. I believe that's their best DB. He does an outstanding job in the secondary, picks off balls, returns kicks, does all those things. So, like I said, this does remind me of 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, playing Temple when they were rolling. I know they went, their record last year wasn't great, but, this year's team is a lot different, and they seem like they're very motivated. I think they took it personal last year, not making the postseason, and I bove they're fired up and they're ready to roll.
Looking at your stats, you see how you mix things up. Tyreek's doing a lot with the ball. Then you got Clater mixing the ball up with him some, and then receivers doing a great job. Of course, Maurice, the star, I love calling his name. Tiandre Thomas, another receiver for you, doing a good job on the offensive side of the ball. But really surprised how good quarterbacks play, buddy.
Yeah, Ty's playing really good. And he's really taken some ownership in that position. Done a great job leading. But we also still use Malachi at times throughout the. It's good to have 2 guys back
with
there
experience.
Yeah, exactly. And they both have. They both started now I think Malachi started 20 games for me, and I think Ty started now like 6 or 7 games for me. So that's a good amount of experience, and we're blessed to have that. But up front is where these games are going to be won, and I do think that our O-line's played a lot better the last 2 weeks, as well as our defensive line really played good last week. I was pleased with that. The front on defense played good, and our secondary played good. We gave up a post for a touchdown, but if you take that play away, we really kept everything in front of us and did not have a lot of big plays. And University is a team that has D1 talent all over the field. And so to kind of contain them, like we did and make them drive the ball on us, that says a lot about the improvement that Coach Locks and those guys have done with our defense.
And, of course, be back at Leo Buckley again. That's nice to be back over there as opposed to Searles. I like the atmosphere over there a little bit better, especially when it's a Temple game, because Temple brings fans.
Yeah, this will be a packed house on a Thursday. We're the only game in town. Temple will come over here. They're on a winning streak. We got a little streak going. What I know from me being here for 8 years is Leo Buckley Stadium, and that's always going to be a special place to me. Think back to the games that I've coached in that stadium, and it's nothing against Searles, and we really have a really good record at Searles. I think we're like 11-1 over the last 3 years at Searles Stadium, but it's just something about playing at the Buck, it seems like we hadn't been there in forever because we haven't been there this season, and I'm trying to remember the last time we played there last year. It seems like our games are more directed over there to Searles, but at the end of the day, whatever stadium we're at, we're going to do the best we can for 48 minutes, and I feel like our kids are prepared for this game. I know Temple's prepared for this game, and it's going to be an outstanding district opener tonight.
Like you said, the only game in town. That means all the TV stations will be there, all the newspapers, so I may have to wait in line for that post-game interview for a little while, huh?
Oh, no, you're always up first. You know that. But there will be a lot of folks at this thing, and, there's a big difference when there's only 6 games between you starting off 1-0 and 0-1. I know nobody. 3 teams this week are going to be 1-0, and 3 teams are going to be 0-1, and so we want to be definitely with the 1 before the 0. But we've got a lot of work to do, and we're going to have to execute and make sure no mental errors, unbelievable effort, and we got to play smart and play fast.
And the kids are feeling good.
Kids are, we're pretty healthy this time of the year, and kids are excited about this opportunity, this matchup. I also want to give a shout out to our sub-varsities. All of our teams are coming along really well. Our JV's on a little winning streak. Our freshmen are undefeated, and that's a big deal, man. Our freshmen we got after University last week, beat them 52-0 on the freshman level, beat them 34-0, I believe, on the JV level. So, our freshman B team beat Brenham last week. We're really doing a good job and doing some really good things with these young groups, and so the future is bright here at Shoemaker USA.
Man, I love it. I love coming out here all the time. Love your coaches. Love your kids. Love being around them. I can't wait for Thursday night, for tonight, I should say, as this is being played back. But Toby, just like you said, one game at a time. Just one game at a time.
Yeah, one game at a time, and we love you, and the kids love you, and we appreciate. I know all the Clean kids appreciate everything you do, both at the games and away from the games. But I just want to take this time and thank our fans. This is the best following we've had by far this early in the year, anytime during a 4-game stretch. Let's keep that up, and let's pack the house tonight. Thank you all for coming out, and as always, go Gray Wolves.
You are watching I-14 Sports Network.